What's going on, everybody? Doc from Average Gamer, guys, back yet again. More Halo Wars 2 action, and today some awesome gameplay, some awesome news. YAPYAP, they did a stream. We're going to take a look at them. We're going to look at them in multiplayer. We'll have another video up that covers the Blitz cards specifically. This one we're going to look at the new units, some of their upgrades, as well as the leader tree. So cannon fodder. These are the units, these are the little guys, these are the main infantry for YAPYAP and the Grunts, as we would expect, very much like we expected in this, with this DLC leader, very much focused on a lot of infantry. So cannon fodder right there is actually going to have a couple upgrades, ankle biters being the first, giving the squad increased damage, which is pretty awesome. You also have this new ability to lock down the base, which essentially does not let any units out until you unlock it. So we're going to see a flood of these guys here a little bit later on, which is really neat. We have the Grunt Goblin. That is the hero unit. Interestingly enough, there are 3 of these. You can get 3 of them, yes. So Grunt Hustle is the first one. Unlocks the Grunt Hustle ability, increases health and damage. Grunt Hustle is an AoE effect that makes grunts slightly invulnerable, or makes them invulnerable for a few seconds and increases their damage output, which is really awesome. The second upgrade for the hero, you get the Shard Storm Launcher, and also increases the Grunt Goblin's health. So if you're familiar with that, Shard Storm Launcher, big needler, really awesome, super good update and upgrade for this guy. Very typical to a lot of hero units, 3 upgrades, so we'll see the other one in here in just a second. But again, you can get 3 Grunt Goblins on the battlefield at the same time, so it's pretty awesome. Last upgrade just does Ultra Hustle, which increases the AoE and effectiveness of that hustle, more damage, more health, as usual, as we would always see. These guys are awesome. I'm super excited to play as YAPYAP. Refer a friend adds an additional squad and also allows the cannon fodder grunts to be able to heal themselves. So really interesting, some really neat dynamics we're going to get with YAPYAP. And for this DLC, super excited. So we're going to see a couple of the leader tree here. Surprise Party drops a mine that when it explodes will drop 2 veteran cannon fodder units. So here's our Grunt Goblins here running in. super awesome, all powered up. Got those Shard Storm Needlers, super cool. Like I said, the art style and just this leader in general is going to be really cool. Methane Wagon is another of the leader tree abilities in the first tier, or second tier, excuse me, which essentially allows you to build the new Methane Wagon unit, which is a unit that has an area of effect, spews methane, which will actually buff your friendly grunt units and debuff via health and damage enemy units. So really interesting, kind of like the rally ability, so I don't see too much difference, but it's only specific to grunts, which is interesting, but it has that dual side where it's increasing and decreasing enemy units and friendly units, so kind of cool to see there. Grunts from Above is very much similar. That is a second tier unit leader power that we'll see here, which allows the drop of a veteran heavy grunt, Grunt Riders, and Methane Wagon. We have Glassing Beam in the third tier. That's a surprise party that I was talking about, which drops that mine. Methane Wagon there in the first. So we have Shade Drop, which allows 4 shade turrets to come in. Small health, but decent amount of damage when you get to look at it. Please Don't Shoot Me is going to be the most. In the second tier is going to be literally the most controversial thing about YAPYAP. Once fully upgraded, it stops all new units, which includes turrets, units, and leader powers from attacking for 15 seconds. It is global, and it works on everybody, so if you're playing 3v3s and you go 3 against 3 against YAPYAP, we're talking 45 seconds continuous where your units and enemy units can't do anything. There's the Grunt Hustle effect right there, as you can see the boost, and you see Please Don't Shoot Me occurring right now where nobody can attack. As soon as that wears off though, boom, everybody goes party. This is the cannon fodder, all these guys fully powered up. Pretty scary when you got a lot of them, but not a lot of health. Love to see the Grunt Goblins, really cool gameplay here, but you can see how boosting these guys up, having a few of those on the battlefield at the same time is going to be really good. We talked Surprise Party, we talked Please Don't Shoot Me, we talked Grunts from Above. There's a few other, again, Glassing Beam is one of them. I think that was a great addition as far as leader powers. We get one of the achievements popping here, Piggyback, which is going to be use the Grunt Goblin charge 10 times. 3 achievements, that's one of them. Winning 3 matches with the Grunt Goblins and YAPYAP is another, and one still to be determined achievement we have not seen yet. Guilt Trip is going to be one of the top tier leader powers that we're going to be able to see. This severely reduces the veteran level gained from enemies killing your own units, which is kind of a reverse. Usually we see a buff to veteran level gained, but this time we see the opposite effect. So really interesting. Probably not one we'll see a lot. Here's the Shade Turret again. Shade Drop, which is 4 Shade Turrets. We have the Grunt Dome moving around the wheel in the 4th tier, which drops a shield tower onto the battlefield, which we'll see here in just a second. And just above that was the Guilt Trip. So pretty interesting setup for the leader powers and the leader tree for YAPYAP. We'll see the Shade. We'll see the Grunt Dome, drop in. This is really interesting. Cool portable shield. Good amount of health. I think they said it lasts for about a minute. So not going to be super prevalent. It's the same thing as the turrets. They'll last for a good minute or so, the 4 of them. But again, those don't have very much health. But good to get some damage out. So here's the Methane Wagon, which again has a few... has an upgrade to increase the methane radius, also adds additional health. Here we're seeing the leader power. This is Methane Bombardment, which is really cool. Or Methane Party. Yeah, Methane Party, which essentially does the same thing that Methane does. You see some of the Methane Wagons there. This is going to drop a bunch of Methane Bombs, which essentially, again, debuffs enemy units and buffs up your Grunts, which is pretty cool. Again, I like to see that. It's a huge area of effect, so very much like a lot of the leader powers we've seen in the past with all this different stuff going on. So that's really about it. That wraps up. Most of these we're going to see a few of the additional units. We've got Grunt Riders, which we talked about yesterday, powerful melee unit. They have one ability which gives them an additional ability to punch. We also see Heavy Grunts right next to that, which are tougher Grunts. Their upgrade gives them an additional attack capability as well as an EMP ability, which will allow it to stun regular units and vehicles, which I think is pretty cool. Here is the Grunt Riders. Just a quick look at these guys. Pretty cool. Mainly a melee attack unit, but the Grunts on the back do throw grenades, so you do still get some range damage with those guys. Again, we're taking a look. 3 Grunt Goblins onto the battlefield. Really cool. Cannon fodder all powered up. Methane Wagon there. So a lot of really neat stuff over the course of this upcoming DLC leader. No specific release date yet, but they are hopeful. Final patch notes and everything are out, so we'll have another video covering that. So stay tuned to the channel. It's going to be fast and furious over the next couple of days, and this DLC should be coming out sometime next week. Hopefully the earlier the better. So thanks for joining me, Doc from Average Gamer, guys. A lot of information in a quick video, but hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.